Hello, it's Artisan Crafter Amy, and today I have a keepsake box with a mermaid journal inside, and I'm spilling things off my desk. I was so excited about filming the video, I didn't even try to clean my desk. I just covered it up with this cloth on top of the pile of things, different papers and stuff like that I have all over the desk, you know, things like that. So I could film this. I already did a flip through video on this. It was like a half hour and I went through it in great detail. And then I changed the box. I added the latch. I added dividers to the inside of the box. And then the other thing I'd wanted to do and forgotten until after I filmed the video was that I wanted to add a chain closure to that one. I've always wanted to do a chain closure. And when I was first starting out, you know, I just didn't feel like I was good enough to even mess with that. You know, I had other things to worry about. But the cover of this, I'm just so proud. I'm like a proud mama, you know, with her new, you know, her new thing. So I tried magnets. The magnets I had weren't strong enough. So I went with a Velcro closure here. See, the box wants to lift up a little bit, and that's where the closure idea came in. It looks like I've gotten a little piece of something stuck on there, or maybe I just missed it with the gesso. So I've covered the whole box as well, inside and out. It's fully lined and covered, top and bottom, all of the sides. And then I painted the box so that you can't see, nothing's cardboard colored. And then I added the dividers. Let me take the, see if I'm on camera, take the journal out, and I'll show you that in a minute. But let's look at this box. Because I've been selling them in a keepsake box and they were really pretty. I went back and I'm like, oh, Kiwi says hello. I went back and I was like, maybe I should go spend the time to redo the boxes for my other journals and then raise the price, you know, after I spent an hour or two, you know, adding dividers and fully covering the box. But when I looked at them, they were so pretty already. They were nice the way they are. But this is different, and I think, I'd like to think it's a step up. So this is the, you know, what to do with your journal. Congratulations, you've gotten one of my journals. And I printed it with a map on the back. And then usually these are free surprise gifts, but I wanted to be, the boxes to display everything so beautifully when you get it. So I made some little magnets that have little fish on them. And then there's some surprise gifts in here because I just love I love surprise gifts for you to get more than you paid for. So there's a little bag here. I also have extra ink for the pen. And then in here is a bunch of the stuff used on the cover of the journal, the pearls and the shells and things like that. In case anything gets knocked off and lost, then you'll have some spares. I just have to keep that up so that the lid will close. And I just really liked how the box came out with the dividers and everything. And then let me turn it around so you can see the whole thing. I probably should have emptied the stuff out of it, but the whole thing is totally covered, which I'm so proud of. Let's see. Yeah, actually didn't fare too bad. Just lost the magnets. And I'll stick those down with double-sided tape. I wonder when people get the magnets because they're stuck down if they know that they're supposed to rip them up and that they're magnets. So there's that. Here's the box. See, I even did the little part that tucks in. And then here is, boy, Kiwi's excited too. He must love mermaids as much as I do. And then let me see if we can get in close on the cover here. And then the top. I think there's 4 or 5 bow paper clips in here. There's at least 3. I always make sure there's at least 3. And then this time I did the chain closure. I'm not sure if we can get a look at that. So it's just got a little clasp here, a lobster claw clasp, that you just unhook the chain and then it comes open, right? It's not the first person to do it. It's just the first time I've done it. And then this is the writing board that I like to include. So you can put it under, oops, sorry about hitting the camera. So you can put it under pages for support because some of the pages are pretty lumpy. And when you get into the book, it can make it just a little bit uncomfortable to write on. So I have these in mine. I like to use them. And then, see, we want it to, when the book falls open, we want it to fall like that. And then I have a little shell charm on this page. My hands are covered with the paint because I've said before the reason why I didn't want to get the paint out is because I make a terrible mess. And it's true. I do. I make a mess. It's on my hands. I think yeah. So here's a tag here. Oop, I've got it upside down. I think this is from a Shabby Dabby Doodah kit that I thought went nicely with the Mermaid. I've got an interactive element and some tags. And this pocket is embossed paper with some gorgeous lace. I used up a whole lace card, or almost a whole lace card, and then a bunch of the grab bag of lace if you saw my Thrifty Thursday haul. It's a good thing I made 2 orders because I used up a bunch of the stuff from the first order in this one journal. And then I used up most of my die cuts, my little die cut flowers and plants. So I'll need to sit down. Let me turn, I've got Roxy on, or Rachel from Roxy Creations. And she's had to stand up and get near her phone and has gotten loud like I'm going to do now that I'm looking for the remote. Well, let me just turn her down. I said before that I like watching her. The other person I forgot to mention was Amy at Crafty Cat. I don't know why I didn't mention her because I watch her almost every morning or listen to her when I'm getting ready for work. That's the sad thing is that the people that I really love their chatter is I don't always get to see everything they do because I put them on when I want to listen. You know, I want a friend. I want to have a friend around, and you know, while I'm getting ready for work or sitting in here crafting. And so I put on like Tina from Shabby Dabby Doodah or Amy at Crafty Cat, Rachel from Roxy Creations. She often makes me laugh, and I love her accent. So, and their crafts are all beautiful. I mean, I wouldn't watch their channels if I didn't love their crafts. So it starts with loving their crafts, and then once I get to really like them as a person, I'll put them on just because it's, you know, they're after a while I feel like I almost know them. Like Amy's, I know her kids are in marching band and things like that. That really struck a bell. Even my husband knows that. He heard one of my channels talking about marching band, and he's like, who's that? Because both he and I were in marching band when we were growing up. I was a flag girl, and he played French horn. Now, we weren't in the same marching band. He's 12 years older than I am, and he grew up in Southern California, and most of my life was spent in Northern California. So, you know, yeah. And then this is a cover of some sheet music that's in here. And then I put extra sentiments. They're, what is it? The wisdom set and positive thinking. And I think there might be some about dance or laughter. So they can be writing prompts, or if you're not planning on writing in it, I find that the positive sentiments, like if I take this to a stressful meeting and I just sit and look through it, I wouldn't take something like this to the meeting though, although I have. I had to do a court deposition, and I made a B notebook just for that. And then I didn't end up taking any notes, but it made me feel really good too. More charms in the middle of the signature. It's a little shell, clamshell charm, and then a washi tape flag on the other side. But yeah, it was neat to have, and it made me feel good to look through during breaks or while we were waiting for people to flip through the pages and read the different positive sentiments that I had put in there. And because I made it just for the event, I did lots of stay strong and you can do it and that kind of stuff. So more die cuts. I have some paper lace. As I said before, I used a ton of that real lace. Here's some die cuts that I think look like seaweed. And then, I found this on my desk, and is for something actually bagged up and already put in the mail as a swap to a new friend, and that I met on Instagram. And I know I made this for her. So you'd think, how would you know that? But I know I made this for her. And it must have fallen out when I was wrapping everything up. But they're full of tags. I don't think she'll notice that a single one is missing. So we'll add that into here. And then I did an embossed envelope that I decorated with that one there and some of the paper lace. And it sticks up high out of the envelope sticks up out of the journal, so I wanted it to look cute. So I put a bow clip on there just so that what's sticking up has a bow on it. And then Over the Waves. Oh, I named it Under the Sea. I meant to name it Under the Waves, not Under the Sea. Whatever. This piece was going to inspire the name, but yeah, Under the Waves will be the next one because I started making the journals 2 at a time. So what I did was I was going to make a 2 signature journal, which is this one, the big one. And then I made a single signature journal that'll only have 40 pages so that it won't be as ridiculously expensive as this. And I say that, it's not ridiculously expensive. I charge about $1 an hour for my time if you don't count any of the materials, you know, or shipping costs, things like that. I hate to talk pricing, but I'm really, each one is my best one. And I tried new things. I push myself to try to do better, to do more. And this was like twice the work of the last one that I made. Now, I'm not going to charge twice as much, but I just can't see charging the same price when I put twice as much work in. So the price is going to be more. And then it's as if I think there's some huge demand for my shop. I have practically sold out, but I just want people to be able to afford it. I don't want to only make things, you know, if I can, as long as I have time, I'd like to make things that almost everybody can afford and not, my hands are cold, and not just, you know, and not just the people who have enough money to buy them. I don't know. I just wanted to be more accessible. So in that vein, I did all 3 signatures as if they were going to go into one book. So they're not matching in any way. You know, they're just coordinating. I divided up the same papers into 3 stacks, or not the same, but, you know, I printed out several digital sets of Mermaid papers or things I thought would look nice in here, and then added a variety of my own pages, and then divided them into enough signatures to make the 2 books. Then I'll make 2 separate covers. I've already done the second box, but we're not talking about the second one that's barely started. You know, just has the pages. When I divided up the pages, I set that one aside and then started on this one. I actually did 4 at a time. How could I forget? I made one for a swap with a friend in Australia. And then I wrote her name wrong inside. Like, I know how her name's spelled. I've seen her name. Hello, Lena. And Lena Lunny. And then I go and misspell it on the thing. I think because I was concentrating so hard on using my best writing. I don't know. Does anybody else do that? Please say yes. You know, that when you concentrate on trying to write your neatest, that maybe you then make spelling errors that you would never make. So yeah, sometimes I don't spell my name right, like it's Amy, A-M-Y. When I do cursive, if I'm concentrating too hard, sometimes I end up with any, you know, an N in the middle. I don't get quite enough loops before my hand starts in on the Y, you know, why? Why? I am so silly. I'm all wound up about how happy I am with how this came out. So here's more of the vintage lace and another die cut sentiment. And here is another interactive element. So it's got a little pocket on the envelope. It doesn't need the paper clip. Like a lot of these, they can be used as bookmarks, the bow top paper clips. I just use them because they're so pretty. And I want you to get a few of them in your journal. So I start with just popping them in, at least 3. I start with 3, and then maybe later I end up adding a couple more in. But here's some tags that I thought looked really pretty that were in the pocket, and you have to remove those to get the envelope open. It's got a Velcro closure. And I just love how the lining of this came out. Isn't that a wonderful surprise when it opens, that big crab there? And then I made a little mini lunch bag journal. And all the elements for this, I custom made just for this journal because I ran out of my stash of generic pre-made stuff. And it does come out a lot better when I custom make it. Now, part of it was one of these kits came with the little miniature journal pages, you know, a quarter of the size of the regular journal pages, doing a miniature journal, you know, super easy. It had all the right size images. If I showed what was in this pocket here, there's a mermaid at the bottom there. Yeah, I learned that I can make flat journals if I just don't put any interactive elements or pockets in it. That's all it takes. You know, my 40-page one doesn't need an 1.5 inch spine. It can be totally flat if it just doesn't have any pockets or tags. Isn't that crazy? That did not look pretty. I'm going to do that again. I find that when I loop the bows, I think they look prettier. There we go. Yeah, so cute. It's the papers, really. You know, I'm just so thankful that we have such talented digital artists and that they offer their wares for sale at such an affordable price. So here's the center between signatures, and I like to leave a gap so I can tuck fat elements like this into the journals. So I leave a nice gap between signatures to tuck these things in. And then I wonder if that wide gap will look weird, so I decorate it with lace or ribbon a lot of the times. Maybe a strip of decorated paper or something. More die cuts here. Yeah, it's so beautiful. Again, part of me wants to apologize for the price, that it's probably put it out of reach for some people. But I just don't know how I could let go of them otherwise. So there's lace here and here. And that cute little fish. And I keep, you know, your money's been well spent on, thank you everybody who's bought at my shop, because I keep reinvesting it in better charms, better ribbons and laces, better supplies, so that I can make better stuff. And I'm willing to not willing, but it's less painful to use up some treasured items in these when I know I'm going to be able to sell them. That it's not just going to sit in a box in my closet, and then, you know, maybe once a year or less, I'll pull that box out and look at what I made. You know, that's sad, I think. It's another reason I like selling them. I'll have the video to remember it by. All right, so this is another interactive element, and I think everything in here is a tutorial on my channel, or will be. I haven't done the paper bag. So I love having the rotating gate. And this is another Tina Shabby Dabby Doodah, these two images. But I added the mermaid to the corner there. And the rotating gate. I love a rotating gate in a window, and this has both of them. It's called a what is it? 4 tuck and flip, I think is what the tutorial's called on the channel for this. And then these are some 49 and Market papers that I used to make this one. Or page from 49 and Market. This also doesn't need the paper clip either. It would just hang on the page. And there's some real lace here. I love this lace. I'll put that up so if you can see it. Yeah, I hate to say it. I think this one's even better. And I love with the mermaids, they can be going any direction. So I had some fun with that. And this one has lace on top. It's floppy. And then in this pocket, I have a lace pocket with ribbon pocket, grosgrain ribbon, with lace at the bottom, and then there's embossed paper pocket right above that. And in the little pocket, I had this shell, and I thought these little fish were so cute, I backed them on card. You know, like a little fish paper doll, if you will. And then sailboats, picture of sailboats. The kind of things Mermaid might collect. See, this doesn't need the bow either, bow top paper clip. But it's just there, so you will have a bunch to use. So a pretty piece of embossed paper. And I just love the pretty blue of this oyster and chop house. Mermaid would want to eat there. She'd probably prefer hers raw. And then this is in a kit I have coming up. I've added a mermaid image to it. And I didn't glue it down so it could be a writing spot. And then I have that cute photograph of little kids at the beach with their buckets. Probably clam or oyster buckets or something. Going clam digging. This is the inside of the second signature. And we're on the inside of the back cover. And isn't that cute? And I've got lace across this page and lace decorating where the spine joins there. It also adds strength and support to the hinge here. And then this last element is a tutorial I want to do on my channel. And it's just tied in here. And it opens both this way, and I've got another one of those little fish, some seaweed, and a nice beach painting it's these digital kits that the artists are providing so reasonably that really help me to create something that I just adore, you know. Yeah, you're tired of hearing me say this, but I make what I like, and I try to make them something just so adorable that I'm gonna want to keep it. My store's almost out of stuff. I need more stuff for the shop. And I've got this little image here. And then there's very little duplication of images, or especially with the cardstock or the backed ephemera. I back that on product packaging to keep it out of the landfills. And then, yep, so it goes this way and that way. And then it just ties shut with this really pretty ribbon. And we're at the end. I did it much faster the second time. And that's the back of the cover and the spine. I don't think I said it's 9 by 6, and it is 2 signatures that have 32 pages each for a total of 64 pages. I did it this way so that I could use the big one, the handcrafted, to grab this little loose ring that I hook it on. You could also probably hook it on the handcrafted if it gets any fatter. Oops, I lost one of the things from the pocket. Okay, I'll take care of that after the video. And oops, we'll just give you one last look at it. Isn't it pretty? Again, I'm not trying to sound boastful. I've just fallen in love with it. I'm just so pleased. And the box with the dividers that hold all the things that I like to put in with one of my big journals. You know, a fancy pen. They don't all have the gem top. I buy a box of assorted pens, and half of them have gems and half of them have magic wand stuff inside. And then this, and the little magnets. I just think this is so nice. I would be thrilled to get something like this. Oh, now Tina's come on. I don't know if you heard. Hello, this is Tina, she says. And like me, and I think the rest of us filmers, YouTubers, we get loud at the beginning, and then we kind of quiet down as we go on. But yeah, I love watching these ladies. I hope you enjoyed my video, and I'm gonna try to get this in the Etsy shop. It's New Year's Day. Happy New Year, everybody. Happy 2022. I did sell the Oz journal before it got in the shop, and I think that might happen with this mermaid one, because there's been a lot of, I've been sharing it on social media while I was making it, and there's been a lot of positive feedback of people, interested in getting it. So you might want to just message me if you're interested in it, if you don't see it for sale in the shop. It does take a lot of time to get them up in the shop, and yeah, so you might see this video before it's in the shop. It might be in the shop before the video is up. That's usually the way it goes. I get it in the shop first. But thank you for watching. It's Artisan Crafter Amy. Please like, subscribe, and if you think your friends or family might enjoy the content, share it with them. Or if you think they want a mermaid journal, share it with them. I mumble sometimes, and I apologize for that. I just get so excited and get on a ramble, and neither of us can barely hear what I'm saying. Have a great day. Happy New Year, everybody. And if you're interested in getting this, check out my Etsy shop. I'm really proud. I'm a proud mama right here. Thank you, everybody.